What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna go with some tips and tricks on the 2026 Honda HR-V, so you don't own this thing for a year only to go, damn, I didn't even know it could do that. So hop on in. So the 2026 Honda HR-V is set up with smart key entry. And what that means is if you have the key in your pocket and you walk up to the door and touch the door handle, it'll automatically unlock the door. But what it doesn't do is unlock the back doors or your passenger door, but you can change that. Let me show you how to set that up. So to affect the settings for your door locks, we're gonna go into vehicle settings. When we get into vehicle settings, we are gonna wanna scroll down until we see keyless access setup. When we get in there, we're gonna go to door unlock mode. It's the very first setting. We wanna change it from driver's door only to all doors. If you're like me, you constantly are on the go and you've got bags in your car, laptops, cameras, whatever the gear is, and you get halfway into a store or into work and then you go, oh my God, I don't know if I locked the doors. And you gotta turn around and you gotta walk all the way back and get your key and try to hit the button to make sure it locks so you can see that it flashed. Well, you don't have to do that. You can set the car up to where when you get 10 feet from it, it'll automatically lock the doors. To set up the walk away auto lock feature, we're gonna go to vehicle settings. When you get into vehicle settings, you're gonna want to go to door setup. So we're gonna scroll on down here until we get to door setup. From there, you're gonna wanna scroll down until you get to walk away auto lock. The default is for this feature to be turned off. You're gonna wanna turn it on. So this next feature is for a lot of my people that live out in warm climates. So if you're walking out to your car, did you know that if you hit the unlock button and then press it and hold it one more time, it can roll your windows down and your moonroof? It's a really cool feature if you live in a hot area like I do. It's Austin, Texas, it's the winter, and I've got shorts on. But what if I had this in my pocket, I was laying on the couch, and I accidentally rolled them down in a thunderstorm? Well, you can turn this feature off. Let me show you how. So to turn off the auto window down feature, you're gonna go into vehicle settings. When we go into vehicle settings, you're gonna wanna go to door setup. So we're gonna come down here and jump into door setup. Now you're gonna wanna scroll down a few options until you see keyless remote power window controls. Select that, and then from there, you're gonna wanna turn that feature off. All right, guys, so the next tip or trick I wanna talk to you about is related to the gas door. So let's talk about that for a second. The first thing I wanna point out is this is connected to the door lock. So if the car is unlocked, this will open. Now, you're gonna notice there's no cap here. It has a valve here and another valve down in there. So I'm gonna talk about that for a second. If you come around to the back, you can flip this guy up and you're gonna see your jack and your accessories and you're gonna see this little funnel and they go, what is the purpose of this? Well, if you ran out of gas and you didn't have a gas can, you're gonna need a way to hold open that valve. That is the purpose of this funnel. So if you ever run out of gas, you're on the side of the road and somebody brings you gas and it's not in a gas can, this is what this is for. If this door ever gets stuck, happens for a lot of guys that live up north in the colder areas, if you come around to the back, there's a little panel right here. If you push down on this panel, it'll pop open. There's a little yellow wire in here you can pull to help pop that door open. So have you ever been in the back seat of somebody's car and you pull up to your destination, they go ahead and turn the car off and you go to get out, and when you go to go the door handle, you're like, it won't open. And you can't feel around, maybe it's in the dark and you have to manually find this to unlock it? Well, the way Hondas are set up, when the car turns off, it will not unlock the remaining doors until the driver opens their door. Then it unlocks them. But you can change that. Let me show you how. So to affect the door unlock mode, we're gonna go into vehicle settings. When you go into vehicle settings, you're gonna wanna go to door lock setup. So when you get into door lock setup, you're gonna scroll down one to auto door unlock. Select that. From here, you have options. When the driver's side door is the default, you can set it when you shift to park, it unlocks all the doors. You can set it to when you turn the ignition off, it'll unlock the doors, or you can completely turn this function off. The Honda HR-V is set up with Lockout Prevention. And what that means is, if I leave my key in the car and I was to lock the doors and try to lock it and walk away, it won't actually lock the doors. It's gonna automatically unlock them so that you don't accidentally lock your keys in your car. However, there are times when you may wanna lock your key inside of your car. Maybe a tow truck's coming to pick it up and you wanna leave the key inside of it. Maybe a friend's coming by with the spare and they're gonna pick up the car later. There are times when this makes sense. Let me show you how to turn off the Lockout Prevention feature. So to turn off Lockout Prevention, we're gonna go into vehicle settings. When you get to vehicle settings, you're gonna wanna go to door setup. When you get into door setup, you're then gonna wanna scroll down until you see Lockout Prevention. When you get into Lockout Prevention, you can then turn that feature off. So the Honda HR-V is set up with remote start. If you're not familiar with that, first let's talk about how it works. So to use remote start, the car always has to be locked. Once it's locked, you're gonna press and hold this button with a little round circle on it. A couple things are gonna happen. You're gonna see the lights flash, and then the car will start up. It'll then run for 10 minutes, or you can extend that same package by doing that same sequence again and run it for another 10. Now, the way it's designed, you still have to come up. The doors will be unlocked, so you'd have to have the key to get inside of the car. And then once you get inside of the car, you'd have to put your foot on the brake and press the start button with the keys in the car to fully turn the car on and be able to drive it off. But if the idea of remote start still makes you uncomfortable, you can turn this feature completely off. To turn remote start off, we're gonna go into vehicle settings. When we get into vehicle settings, we are gonna wanna go down to keyless access setup. Under keyless access setup, we're gonna wanna scroll down until we see remote start system on off. From here, you can then turn that feature off. So because you have a key fob and you have electronic door locks, what happens if the battery dies? How do I get inside of my car? There's no like keyhole anymore. Well, let me explain that. So the first thing you would want to do is come to your key fob. On your key fob, there's a little button right here. If you press that button, there's actually a key inside of your fob, which by the way, if you ever need to change the battery, you can actually pull this out and then you just pop these two pieces apart and the battery's inside there. So just an extra piece. But once you've done this, you're gonna wanna come over to the door. Now, if you look in the door, up behind the handle, there's a spot to put that key. You'll be able to put that key and then unlock your door. So that'll get you in. Now, if the car is dead, you'll still have to manually reach back to unlock this door, but that'll allow you to get into here so that you get in, right? Now, at that point, if you had anything in the very, very back, you could just pull this down and grab it out. But that's how you get inside of your vehicle if the battery's dead. So the Honda HR-V is set up with a feature called Lane Keep Assist. And what it does is it uses a camera right up there where you can see that triangle to detect the lines out on the road and keep you centered. Well, that camera can also read speed signs. And when you're driving by them, it can pick them up and it can actually display them inside of the dash. And on top of displaying them, it can even provide you alerts if you're going 3 or 5 or even 10 over, but you gotta set it up. Let me show you how. All right, so this one's gonna take a couple steps. So we're gonna go into vehicle settings. When we get to vehicle settings, we wanna go to driver assist system setup. All right, now once we get into here, I'm gonna scroll through the bottom to make this a little bit faster, and we're gonna come up and we're gonna see a couple different features, right? So the first one is traffic sign recognition system display. This should already be on, but you wanna check this. If it's not, turn that on. Now, after you do that, you're gonna wanna come down to the one right below it. And it's gonna say, exceeding the speed limit, do you want the warning? You're gonna wanna make sure that is also turned on. So I've already turned these on. Once you turn on this one, it's gonna provide this third setting. Now, speed limit warning threshold is where you're gonna pick what you want it to be. So if I jump in here, this is where I can say, hey, if I'm going anything over the speed limit, I want that warning. I wanna get those lights, that alerts. If I'm going 3 over, if I'm going 5 over, or if I'm going 10 over. So these next couple tricks I'm gonna show you require your seatbelt to be on. Okay, so I just wanna preface that. So the first one, if I have the parking brake on, right? So I'm gonna turn the car off for a second. So let's say I get into my car and the parking brake is on. If you put your seatbelt on first, right? And I go ahead and start the car up. So long as I have my seatbelt on before I shift to drive, if I have the seatbelt on already, I can immediately tap the gas and it'll automatically release my parking brake. So you don't have to remember to release it, turn it on, release it every single time you get in and out of the car. Now, the next feature I wanna talk to you about is brake hold. It's this button right by the parking brake. So I'm gonna press this button. When you do, you're gonna see brake hold come on up there, right? And so that's saying, okay, the feature is now on. So I'm gonna shift the car to drive. Now, if I'm driving down the road, so let's drive a little bit, and then I come to a complete stop. Let's pretend I'm in a drive-through line. You're gonna see this hold button come on. When that does, it's now holding the brake for me. So I don't have my foot on the brake anymore, but it's holding the brake while the car is in drive. Now, if the line moves up, let's say a couple feet and I'm in that drive-through line, I'll go ahead and touch the gas. Then I'm gonna come to a complete stop again. When I come to that stop, that brake hold button's gonna come back on, letting me know it's now holding the brake, and I can release my foot while the car is in drive. Super cool convenience feature if you're like in drive-through lines a lot, or if you're stuck in stop and go traffic a lot. Just allows you to take a little bit of a break. So Hondas are known for safety. And this vehicle has a lot of active safety features that uses cameras and radars to detect cars and things like that. So let me explain what those are. So in the dash, you're gonna wanna scroll down to safety support, and I'm gonna select that. Now, once I scroll down, it's gonna show me the features that the vehicle offers. So road departure mitigation, what that is it can use the camera up here to detect the lines on the road. If you start to drift off the side of the road, it can give you an audible alert and vibrate the wheel to say, hey, wake up, pay attention, you're drifting off the road. The next one is blind spot information system. I think we all know what that is at this point, but there's an indicator in the mirror that will light up if someone's in your blind spot. If you put your blinker on and start to get over, even though that's there, it'll give you an audible alert to let you know there is someone in your blind spot. The next one is low speed braking. If I'm in a parking lot and I'm backing up, let's say into a spot, and it's looking like I'm gonna hit a car, it can give you an audible alert, shake the wheel, and then actually apply the brakes to say, hey, you're about to hit somebody. This one's gonna be available, I believe, only in the EXL parking sensors. They're on the front and back of the car. So if I'm backing up and it's looking like I'm gonna get something, I'll get an indicator and a light that'll come on here and some beeping to let me know, hey, there's something there that you're about to back into. Now, the next one is gonna be collision mitigation braking. What that is it's using a radar that's down in the grill to bounce it off cars in front of you. So when you're driving down the road, if it's looking like a car in front of you slams on the brakes and you don't see it or you don't look up quick enough, it can first alert you, provide an audible alert, flash in the dash, and they can actually apply the brakes to prevent you from rear-ending that vehicle. Of course, this feature can be turned on and off as well. Now, if you ever find that any of these are too sensitive and you just want to adjust them, you maybe don't want to turn them off or you want to change how it alerts you, if you come into vehicle settings, from there, you can go to driver assist system setup. You can select that. All of those features I just mentioned are right here, right? So you could come in here and say, hey, my collision warning distance, I want it to be a little bit shorter, or I want it to be maybe a little bit further, right? It's a little bit too sensitive for me. Know that you can make those adjustments right here. All trims come with wireless CarPlay. Pretty cool. So you don't have to plug in to get CarPlay or Android Auto, right? I use an Android, I use a Pixel 10 Pro. But I want to show you a couple cool tips or tricks on here. So the first part is right now you can see I have my audio here and then I have my navigation over here. You can actually flip-flop that. If you didn't know, if you come in here, you can go into settings. And then there's a setting down here that's change layout. So if I scroll down to that setting, change layout, I can then flip that if I prefer to have the navigation closer to me. So now when I jump back to that home screen, you'll see navigation on this side and your audio over on the other side. Now, the next thing I want to show you is if you come in here, you can set up custom actions. This is actually really easy to do and a lot of people don't know about it. So what I mean by that is I've got custom actions set up to like direct me places. That's one of the ways you can do it. So if I always want to get to the nearest Taco Bell, it'll automatically put in that I want to go to Taco Bell, pull it up for me to where all I gotta do is start it and then we'll go. You can even do this to add stops. So if you're already on the way somewhere and you're like, hey man, on the way I need to stop at Starbucks, you can select that, it'll add it to it, and now you'll have both. Really cool and really easy to set up. The other one that you can set up is as a custom action is to call someone. So I set up my own number here. So if there's someone you call regularly and you don't want to have to use the voice command to tell it to call them, you can just set up a button where you can select them and it'll automatically start to call that person. Now, the question is, how do you set those things up? Let me explain. So if we come down here, we're gonna want to go to customize. When you touch customize, what it's gonna do is it's gonna pull up the launcher. Now for me, I use Android Auto, so it's a little bit different if you're an iPhone user, but no big deal. It's gonna look very similar. Now under here, first off, if you want to rearrange the order of any of these, that's where this screen is. So if I wanted to move something like calling this person up to the very top, I absolutely could, and I can do it right here. I just have to disconnect and reconnect or turn the car off and on, and it'll rearrange them. The second part though is adding those custom actions. If I select add a shortcut, so the first one is call a contact. I would just go find my contact and then select them, and then it'll add them. Super simple. Now, if I want to do the other, now, of course, a custom action could be anything that you use voice command before, but I find this is going to be very useful. So let's say I wanted to add one in. So I'm going to say directions to nearest gas station. So I'm going to label it gas station. Now, once you've done that, you can test your command, or if you're positive that it'll work, you can go ahead and create that shortcut. So I'm gonna go ahead and create the shortcut. Now, when I do that, it's gonna drop it down at the very bottom. So I'm gonna grab that shortcut and I'm gonna move it all the way up here to the top, right? So let me grab that and we'll make it the very first one. Now that I've added that, let's turn the car off, turn it back on, and I'll show you what it's done. All right, so I turned the car off and turned it back on. Now I'm gonna jump in here. You're gonna see that I've changed the order, so gas station's first and calling me a second. If I select it, it'll pull up, fill in the prompt for me, and automatically direct me to the nearest gas station. Now, the last thing I wanna show you on here related to this is if you come down here and you go into settings, there are of course all these settings that you can play with, but if you scroll to the very bottom, there's see more settings on your phone. If you select that, it'll actually open up your phone to some of the settings, and there are some additional settings here that you can affect. So it's kind of cool to know that there's a couple hidden settings that you can play with inside of here if you want. So this next tip or trick is not something standard on the car, but I find that it's really cool and it gives you a lot of freedom and essentially unlocks your head unit. This doesn't look like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. This looks like something else, because if I'm scrolling through here, you'll notice I have the Play Store. I've got YouTube, I've got Hulu, I've got Netflix, I've got Disney Plus, I've got Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, ChatGPT, whatever app I want. What I'm doing is I'm using a box. So this is something you have to purchase. This one's made by One Car Stereo. I've reviewed a couple of these boxes. They're really cool, and I found a couple that I really like by brands that I like. What you do is you plug this box in. From there, you give it data. You can either give a SIM card, or I use my phone as a hotspot. Once you've done that, essentially what it does is unlock and allow you to use your head unit as like a full Android device. So I can come in, download any apps I want, and take advantage of them. What's cool about that is two things for me. One, if I'm taking a long trip and I want to be able to pull up Netflix and stream a show while I'm driving, I absolutely can. So I can do this moving or not moving. So I could come in here and say, yeah, I want to jump into this specific show, be able to watch it as I go down the road, right? The second part that I really like about this system is that when I come into apps like Spotify, now you can use Spotify and Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The difference is, though, I have the full version of the app, not the cut up, watered down version that they provide. So I can come in here and I can type in a search whether I'm sitting still or driving. It doesn't force me to use voice commands, but then when I get into an artist, it gives me the entire setup. So I can see songs that I've liked, popular songs. I can see their popular releases, right? I can see things that they're featured on, all of these different things. I can watch clips of them. So it gives me the full version of Spotify as if I was on my laptop or on my phone, versus that cut up version of apps that you get with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if this is something you might be interested in, I'll put a link down in the description. I just made a full video review on this specific box you can check out, but I've done reviews on a couple different boxes. So feel free to check that out, and also take advantage of my coupon code if you decide to buy one, so that you can save a little bit of money. So hopefully these tips and tricks helped you out. Couple favors to ask for you. One, I hope you press the like button. It helps me really. It'll push this video a little bit higher out and further out so that more people find it. Two, leave a comment. If you have a question about a tip or trick, let me know. Or if you think there's one that I missed and you know about it, I would definitely love to know about that. Three, I hope you subscribe to the channel so that when I produce content like this or talk about products like this, you can learn about them. And then four, I hope you share the video, man. If you got some friends who own an HRV or are shopping for one and want to learn some cool things that it can do, share this video. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Later, guys!